Trust is not a feeling. Trust is an account. Write it down. Trust is the currency of leadership. If you have no currency, you cannot transact influence, no matter your title, no matter your microphone, no matter your followers. Your title can announce you. Only trust authorizes you. If your account is empty, your authority is only noise. Read this one for me. Go. Trust without deposits is deception. Write this down. Test over time equals trust. Not test over day. Not test over weekend. Time. Trust is earned in installments, not demanded in speeches. Stop using the term trust me. Banks don't credit your account because you shout at the teller. They credit it because there are deposits on the ledger. People are not a charity for your charisma. They are stewards of their future. They will only deposit influence if you have a record, receipts of consistency, statements of integrity, and an audit trail of obedience to principle. Your leadership runs on a trust account. Every decision is a transaction. Every promise is either a deposit or a withdrawal. Your tone can be a withdrawal. Your lateness is a service fee. Your secrecy is a hidden tax. Your apology without change is a bounce check. Protect the account. Write it down. What took you years to build can be lost in seconds. Bankruptcy of trust comes faster than bankruptcy of money, because scandal compounds at a higher interest rate than faithfulness. One breach and the market panics. If the account is overdrawn, you are disqualified. Sit down until you rebuild capital. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, says the scripture, because a good name is spendable. You can buy rooms you've never entered with a good name, and you can be evicted from rooms you built with a bad one. The Bible also says, he who is faithful in little is faithful also in much. Little is the deposit window. Much is the line of credit called authority. If you cannot keep your word about minutes, why should anyone trust you with years? Let your yes be yes and your no, no. That is banking language. Clarity is currency. Ambiguity is inflation. Write this rule and never forget it. Stop saying, trust me. Show me your ledger. Show me your mornings. Show me your motives. Show me your mentors. Show me your corrections. Trust is not a speech. It is a statement, monthly, visible, verified. Some of you think you're at level 5. Your staff thinks you're at level 2. Let's settle it. Where are your receipts? Who could audit your last 90 days and find deposits, kept promises, consistent ethics, transparent processes, timely follow through? If you sense you're already in overdraft, run for cover. Shut your mouth. Stop promising. Start paying back with small, repeatable obedience. Protect the account. Because leadership is not a performance. It is a portfolio. And the market is watching. Write this down. Law produces values. Values produce morals. Morals train the conscience. Conscience governs conduct. That's the engine behind every deposit in your trust account. The foundation of ethics is law, and law is the source of culture. Whenever you create a law, you've identified a value. Read this one for me. Go. Conscience is unspoken law. Law is the law shouting at you. Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commandments. That's law shaping values. David said, your word I have hidden in my heart. That's law internalized until it becomes conscience. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. Conversion is the conscience, learning new instructions. Trust is not magic, it's mechanics. Deposits are not random, they're rooted. When law is clear, values are stable. When values are stable, morals are consistent. When morals are consistent, the conscience has teeth. And when conscience is strong, behavior becomes predictable. Predictability is credibility. And credibility is deposit after deposit after deposit. But if you cut the chain, the account will leak. In the days when everyone did what was right in his own eyes, there was chaos because there was no law-forming values and no conscience could survive that fog. Write it down. Where law is negotiated, trust is impossible. Gifts are loud, character is quiet. Talents and gifts are only as safe as your character. It's the container. Your charisma may attract attention, but only character keeps the account safe. We love your voice, your vision, your strategy, fine. But the market of humans will not keep depositing into a cracked container. Daniel purposed in his heart not to defile himself. Law inside produced values that birthed morals, and his conscience refused the king's table. Joseph kept custody of his future because the law of God in him set a value on purity, and his morals said no when nobody was looking. Trust didn't fail them in public because it didn't fail them in private. Here is why your account collapses in secret before it embarrasses you in public. You negotiated your conscience first. You sold a value to buy an appetite. You adjusted a moral to keep applause. Then you call it wisdom. No, that is vandalism of your own soul. Write this down. When you keep breaking your own internal law, you are training people to expect withdrawals. They are not unloyal, they are accurate. They read the pattern. Promises stretched, deadlines slipped, explanations multiplied. Your conscience went quiet, their deposits went cautious. Protect the account. So what do? Reattach the chain. Return to law, God's word, and your organizational standards. Clarify values, what we prize, what we forbid. Codify morals, what we always do, what we never do. Retrain your conscience with repetition until it protests at the gate, not after the crash. Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. Vision, there is a revealed law, a boundary that births values and behavior. If you want restraint back, restore revelation to the driver's seat. Since trust is measurable, you can locate it in levels. Each level is a different kind of deposit and a different kind of risk. Stop saying, trust me. Show me your submission to law. Show me values in action. Then we can climb. Write this down. Trust is a ladder of earned permissions. And the higher you climb, the more your character, not your charisma, must carry the weight. You will know your level by what people are willing to risk with you. Not by smiles, not by applause, by risk. Read this one for me, go. People don't give levels, they give permissions. Write these levels down, then stop guessing where you stand. Level 1 is compliance trust. They do what you say because they have to. The only permission they grant is task execution under supervision. They obey the rule, not you. They move when you watch, they pause when you blink. That is not confidence, that is containment. Level 2 is reliability trust. Your word begins to feel like a contract. They permit you their time, their calendars, their small resources because your follow through has a pattern. Your schedule becomes a moral document. Missed minutes are withdrawals. On-time delivery is a deposit. Level 3 is integrity trust. Now they believe your motives, not just your output. They permit you their vulnerability, private information, fears, future hopes, because your private life and public voice are aligned. By their fruits you shall know them. Fruit here is motive made visible over time. Level 4 is accountability trust. They trust you because you are not free to do anything. They permit you their reputations and proximity because you are governable under authority, submitted to law, audited and correctable. This is the gate to higher trust. Most leaders never reach it. Why? Because level 4 demands governance, not performance. If you refuse authority, you are disqualified from higher permission. Read this one for me, go. If you cannot be governed, you cannot be trusted beyond your personality. The heart is deceitful above all things, which is why self-supervision is a lie. You need authority. Level 5 is advocacy trust. They let you represent them when they aren't in the room. They permit you their voice and interests, believing your judgment will protect them even at your cost. Your words become a bank vault. Guard it. Level 6 is legacy trust. They entrust you with the future after you're gone. They permit you succession, inheritance, brand, their children's tomorrow. Your character becomes a safe home for another generation. Let me clarify. These levels are not popularity ratings. They are risk permissions. Likes are noise. Limits are data. People decide the permission they give you by reading your receipts, law in you, values lived, morals kept, conscience awake. Stop using the term trust me. Show me your governance. Show me who can stop you. Protect the account. We begin at the bottom. If all you have is compliance, you are not trusted, you are tolerated. That is level 1. Sit up. We need to diagnose it. Level 1 is compliance trust. Write it down. They do what you say because they have to. The policy moves them, not your person. The manual is the shepherd. Your title is the stick. They obey the rule, not your voice. This is not confidence. This is containment. Read this one for me. Go. If people comply but won't confide, you have authority without trust. How do you know you're here? Silence in meetings. You ask any concerns, and the room offers nods and shallow weather reports. Then after the meeting, there are side corridors, secret threads, and a flurry of CCs for visibility. That is not collaboration. That is legal insurance. In public, they give you yes, sir, yes, ma'am. But in private, they slow walk, sandbag, and wait you out. They bring 2 other names onto every email like bodyguards because they are not sure you will keep your word if no one else saw it. They ask you to put it in writing, not because they are thorough, but because your past made them careful. You are hearing information, not truth. Information is what keeps them safe. Truth is what risks their heart. They are not wrong. They are accurate. Your ledger taught them to minimize exposure. Compliance is expensive. Write this down. It costs watches, cameras, signatures, memos, policies, penalties, and fear. You are paying heavy fees to move small tasks because the account is low. Fear is the worst fuel in leadership. The scripture says, perfect love casts out fear. Love here is not sentiment. It is benevolent character proven over time that lets people exhale. Where fear drives, confession hides. Where love governs, truth flows. If your system needs surveillance to function, you are managing distrust, not leading people. Stop using the term trust me. Protect the account. Listen carefully. When people live at level 1, creativity shuts down. Initiative dies. They do the minimum that keeps them safe because safety, not vision, is their motive. The hireling flees because he cares not for the sheep. A hireling culture follows instructions and avoids wolves, but never lays down its life. That's level 1. Your team is clocking in, not buying in. They are punctual, not purposeful. They are accurate, not courageous. And every day the hidden cost compounds lost ideas, delayed warnings, unspoken risks. Scandals don't start big. They start with a staff that doesn't trust you enough to tell you early. Write this rule and underline it. If your leadership requires constant supervision, you are disqualified from intimacy with your people. You may still have the chair, but you do not have their chest. Run for cover. Audit your ledger. Repent for weaponizing policy to replace character. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Start paying back with small, visible, repeatable promises kept. To move to level 2, your word must become a deposit. Consistency turns orders into confidence. When your schedule stops lying, calendars start believing. Then the emails lose their bodyguards, the room finds its voice, and reliability, slow, quiet, relentless, begins to credit the account. Level 2 is reliability trust. Write it down. Reliability means you do what you said, when you said, with the quality you promised every time. Trust begins with predictability. People start to breathe when your patterns become dependable. Read this one for me. Go. Your schedule is a moral document. Time is not a clock. Time is character on a calendar. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Jesus was teaching contracts of the soul. Reliability is the first real deposit. Protect the account. Here is the deposit logic. Small kept promises create large permissions. Return the call when you said, and they will give you a project. Deliver the project when you promised, and they will give you their budget. Guard the budget with precision, and they will give you their name. Write this down. Big promises with small follow-through create overdrafts. Vision shouted and deadlines missed is a bounce check. Your spreadsheet may be impressive. Your receipts are the only thing spendable. He who is faithful in little is faithful also in much. Little is the deposit window. Much is the line of credit called authority. Protect the account. Let me expose the common withdrawals. Chronic lateness is theft. You are stealing minutes you did not buy. Vague commitments are counterfeit currency. Sometime next week is a rubber check. Missed deadlines without warning are fraud. You sold a deliverable and delivered an excuse. Shifting blame is embezzlement. You move liability to someone else's wallet. I forgot as a lifestyle is a confession of value you didn't forget. You ranked it beneath your convenience. Psalm 15 describes the man God approves. He swears to his own hurt and does not change. That means if the promise costs more than you estimated, you still pay. Read that again. Go. You still pay. Protect the account. Stop using the term trust me. Replace it with check my calendar, check my follow through, check my receipts. Make fewer promises. Keep everyone. Consistency is a moral act, not a scheduling habit. It is not about being busy. It is about being believable. If you must cancel, notify early, own it fully, and compensate tangibly. Do not hide, do not spin, do not baptize chaos as creativity. Order is love in motion toward people's expectations. Write this rule, underline it. Promise only what you can perform, then perform more than you promise. Governance of your mouth is the governor of your trust. Practical, audit your last 30 days. List every commitment meetings, messages, deliverables, decisions. Put a green check by promises kept on time, at quality. Put red beside delays, gaps, silence. No excuses. Patterns are prophecy. If your timekeeping is a rumor, you are disqualified from higher permissions. People will keep you at level 1 compliance while smiling at your level 5 fantasies. Protect the account. Reliability earns work trust. They give you tasks, timelines, tools. But level 3 requires truth trust. Can they trust your motives and your mouth when no one is watching? Reliability proves you can carry weight. Integrity proves you won't steal it. We are going there, but don't try to skip the rung. If your minutes still lie, your motives will never be believed. Protect the account. Level 3 is integrity trust. Write this down. Integrity is alignment. Private equals public, backstage equals front stage. They begin to believe your motives, not just your metrics. You are the same person when no one is watching. Read this one for me, go. Integrity is trust bloodstream without private alignment. Public leadership is only a performance. People don't just check your outcomes now. They read your heart through patterns. They will tell you secrets. They will risk vulnerability. They will let you see their fears if your private world stops leaking into your public role. Integrity is proven under pressure and access. Here come the 3 tests. Write them down. Appetites, food, drink, sex, fame, applause, attention, image, power, control, money, people. The tempter tested Jesus in this triad. Bread for appetite, temple leap for fame, kingdoms for power, same devil, new devices. Appetites ask, can you govern your plate, your bottle, your bed? Fame asks, can you handle a stage without inhaling the smoke? Power asks, can you hold a sword without cutting people to size? If your stomach rules you, you are disqualified. If your ego needs noise, you are disqualified. If your authority has no brakes, you are disqualified. Protect the account. Watch your mouth. Speech is a moral instrument. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Gossip is theft. You withdraw someone else's reputation to buy belonging. Exaggeration is counterfeiting. You inflate numbers to purchase awe. Selective truth is fraud. You edit facts to avoid pain. Every lie is a withdrawal plus interest. The interest is suspicion. Your mouth is an ATM connected to your trust account. Every careless word triggers a fee. Jesus said, let your yes be yes and your no, no. Paul said, speak the truth in love, not truth in anger, not love without truth. Truth in love is a clean deposit. Write this down. Accuracy is holiness to your neighbor. Hear me. Public scandal is never sudden. It is revealed suddenly. The camera only caught what the conscience stopped resisting years ago. When the headline explodes, the ledger has been read for a long time. Quiet invoices of late night messages, expense reports tilted toward appetite, prayer meetings that were actually alibis. God can fire you and people think you are still hired because the gift keeps working while the account is empty. Do not mistake applause for solvency. If a video ever surfaces, shut your mouth. Run for cover. Do not justify. You are disqualified until restoration. Forgiveness can be immediate. Restoration is measured and supervised. Protect the account. Level 3 is where your fruit starts telling the truth about your roots. But listen, most leaders stall here. Why? Because level 4 demands governance, not applause. Level 3 proves you privately aligned. Level 4 requires you to be stopped, corrected, audited, governed by authority you did not hire and cannot fire. Stop using the term trust me. Show me who can say no to you and make it stick. If you want legacy, pass through. Accountability, integrity deposits qualify you. Submission secures you. We are going to the gate next. Before I define it, hear this. Level 4 is the point where people allow you near what can truly damage them: identity, future, reputation. Write this down. At level 4, they hand you the keys to their name. Not their tasks, not their timelines, their name. That is why there is a guard at this gate. They will not open it for a performer. They will not open it for a freelancer. They will only open it for a governed man, a governed woman. Protect the account. Most leaders never get here because level 4 demands the one thing leaders secretly hate: submission. We enjoy the wheel. Level 4 requires the brake. We love microphones. Level 4 requires a mouth that can be stopped. We crave admiration. Level 4 requires accountability. Read this one for me, go. Most leaders stall at level 3 because level 4 demands governance, not applause. If you cannot be corrected, you are disqualified. Why? Because an uncorrectable leader eventually becomes dangerous. Pride goes before destruction, not before discomfort, before destruction. When you refuse rebuke, you enroll in a crash course. I sat with a young founder. Let me call him Marcus. He said, "Doc, my board is advisory. They can't fire me." I said, "Son, then your ceiling is level 3. Wise people will never risk their name in your hands because your hands have no cuffs." Write this down. Freedom without brakes is not leadership. It is a hazard on the highway. Stop using the term trust me. Show me who can say no to you and make it stick. Show me your brakes. Here is the self-deception that keeps you circling at level 3. I'm anointed. I'm gifted. I'm successful. Gifts are amplifiers. They make you louder. Success is a megaphone. It carries your voice farther. But if your character is cracked, the amplifier spreads the noise and the megaphone broadcasts the damage. God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. Grace flows to those under, not those over. Gifts do not qualify character. Gifts increase the consequences of failure. Write it down. Test yourself. Who can wound you and you say thank you? Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Who can rebuke you and you love them more? Rebuke a wise man and he will love you. Who watches over your soul with authority you did not hire and cannot fire? Obey those who rule over you, for they watch for your souls. If your circle is made of fans and employees, you are unpastored. If correction offends you, applause will destroy you. Run for cover. Find a yoke. Submit. Protect the account. Let me make it plain. People read your governance before they release their name. If you bristle at questions, if you punish dissent, if you label caution as disloyalty, the wise will cap you. They will enjoy your sermons, your products, your posts, but they will never open level 4. They are not bitter, they are accurate. You train them to stay safe. So what is level 4? We will define it now. Accountability trust. They trust you because you are under trusted authority. Your influence is governable. Your timing is submitted. Your access is audited. Your appetites are watched. You are not free to do anything. That is the threshold. Cross it, and doors you could never kick open will open by themselves. Refuse it, and you will live applauded but contained. In the next moment, I will show you the gate and how to pass through without faking it. Protect the account. Level 4 is accountability trust. Write this down. They trust you because you are not free to do anything. People relax around you because they can see the breaks. They can name the law shaping your values, the values shaping your morals, and the authority shaping your conscience. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Safety means rest. Rest means deposits. Read this one for me. Go. People trust you when you are governable. If you have no supervision, you are a hazard. Stop using the term trust me. Show me your governance. Protect the account. Here is the paradox. The most trusted leaders wear the most restraints. The safest driver is the one with seatbelts on, mirrors checked, speed regulated, and a license that can be revoked. Freedom without restraint is a threat, not a gift. Write it down. Two are better than one. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. Who lifts you? By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be established. Who verifies your words? If you design a world where only you can be right, you just license your own deception. God resists the proud because the proud resist governance. You are disqualified when you refuse to be stopped. Let me give you the markers. Number 1, transparent finances. Open books, dual signatures on disbursements, independent audits you do not control, expense policies you gladly obey. If your card cannot be questioned, you cannot be trusted. Number 2, documented decisions. Minutes recorded, rationales written, risks and dissent noted, conflict of interest declarations signed before the vote. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. Number 3, clean reporting lines. A real board with authority, not your cousins, not your fans. Clear who you answer to and how they can remove you. Number 4, boundaries around benefits and gifts. No private envelopes, no undisclosed favors, no special discounts that buy your silence. You recuse yourself when family or money is in the frame. Number 5, willingness to be audited. Surprise reviews, policy compliance checks, external counsel invited to test your systems. If an audit frightens you, you already know your truth. Write it down. Accountability you welcome becomes trust you receive. Now hear me. Identify authority. Submit without condition. Stop defending yourself. Let another man praise you and not your own mouth. When questioned, don't spin, answer. When corrected, don't argue, change. Obey those who rule over you, for they watch for your souls. Give them keys, access to calendars, contracts, and communications. Allow authority to represent you to the community. If you must explain yourself, you are not yet governed. Protect the account. I watched a leader call her Lydia, inherit a ministry, drowning in suspicion. She published the audit before anyone asked, cut her own perks, recused herself from 2 lucrative deals, and placed a seasoned chair above her who could fire her. Donors who had paused reopened deposits. Why? They could see the locks on the vault. That is level 4. You did not sing trust. You showed it under supervision. Cross this gate and something holy happens. People begin to rest their names in your hands because your hands are cuffed by wisdom. From here we will move to advocacy trust, where they permit you to speak for them when they are absent, but do not try to borrow level 5 without level 4. A mouth without a master is a danger to every name it carries. Govern yourself by submitting yourself. Then doors you could never kick open will open by themselves. Protect the account. Level 5 is advocacy trust. Write this down. They let you represent them when they aren't in the room. At this level, your words become a place they can store their name without fear of theft. Read this one for me. Go. When people let you represent them, your words become a bank vault. Guard it. This is a new deposit category. Reputation, stewardship. You are carrying a person's credibility in your mouth. One sentence can enrich them. One sentence can bankrupt them. Protect the account. How do you make deposits at level 5? Number 1, fidelity to truth about people. No inflation, no deflation, accurate representation. Speak the truth in love. Love here means you protect the person while you protect the facts. Number 2, public crediting. Name the contributors. Let another man praise you so you become the other man who praises. When you attribute rightly, you wire transfer honor into their account and yours. Number 3, confidential integrity. He who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets, but he who is faithful conceals a matter. Conceal here does not mean cover crime. It means you refuse to spend private trust for public applause. Write this down. At level 5, there is no neutral speech. Every word is a deposit or a withdrawal. What destroys level 5? Using people as props, name dropping them to inflate your brand, throwing staff under the bus to secure a deal, taking credit for quiet excellence, revealing confidences to appear connected. If you trade someone's reputation for 5 minutes of favor, you are disqualified from advocacy. Shut your mouth. Run for cover, repent, return to level 4, and submit yourself to correction. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. If you cheapen someone's name, you declared your value system. The wise will read it and close the vault. Listen to a story. I watched a young executive, call him Aaron, sit with a major donor who questioned a failed project. Aaron said, "That was on me. My team flagged the risk. I pushed too fast." He named the team members and celebrated their diligence. He absorbed the blast and spread the praise. 2 months later, that donor funded Aaron's next initiative and asked for those same team members to lead it. Why? Aaron turned his mouth into a bank vault. Deposits multiplied. Now, another story. Elise, bright and driven, leaked a colleague's misstep in a private dinner to look discerning. It reached the colleague's ear. Deposits evaporated. Doors closed quietly. She still had her gift. She lost her vault. Practical rules. Read these for me. Go. Never explain someone absent in a way you wouldn't with them present. Never receive credit you didn't earn. Redirect it immediately. Never outsource your blame. Own it fully, fast. Ask permission before sharing any story with a name in it. And if denied, bury it. Confront privately what wounds the body. Report criminality to authority. Cover shame with dignity. Love covers a multitude of sins, but justice uncovers crimes. Wisdom knows the difference. Protect the account. Stop using the term trust me. Let your governance and your guarded tongue speak. If you enter a meeting where names are currency, bind your appetites. You don't need to look important. You need to be faithful. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Keep watch over the door of my lips. At level 5, your mouth is a door to someone else's future. Keep watch. And here the bridge. Level 6 is rare legacy trust. That is when they don't just let you speak for them. They let you shape tomorrow without them. They hand you culture, inheritance, their children's future. That level belongs to those whose vaults have never been breached. We are going there, but only after you have proven that every private sentence about another is a holy stewardship. Protect the account. Level 6 is legacy trust. Write this down. They don't just let you speak for them. They entrust you with the future after you're gone. At this level, your character has become a safe home for other people's tomorrow. Culture, succession, values, assets, memory. Read this one for me. Go. Legacy trust is earned when your character becomes a safe home for other people's future. They are not giving you tasks. They are handing you inheritance. Not projects, identity. Not a season, generations. Stop using the term trust me. Show me the house you built called character, with doors named law, values, morals, conscience. Protect the account. What do people give at level 6? They give you their name to carry beyond the funeral. They give you their children to mentor, their work to refine, their stories to guard. They give you keys to endowments, charters, bylaws, and the right to shape what songs are sung when they cannot sing them. They trust your spirit, not just your statements, because your law has produced values. Your values have produced morals, and your morals have produced a conscience that will not sell their legacy for applause. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Legacy is not money first. It is meaning secured in structures. What is the evidence? Successors, you train, plural, not a pet to protect your ego, but a bench to protect the mission. Systems that run without fear, clear roles, sober reviews, budgets that tell the truth, decision trees that don't collapse when your phone goes silent. Leaders you empowered and platforms you gave away before you were done with them. Credit you refused to steal. Honor you transferred while it still cost you. He swears to his own hurt and does not change. You wrote it down, signed it, taught it, lived it. Then you stepped back and watched them win without you, and you clapped. Listen to two outcomes. Miriam built a school and a culture manual, laws to values, to morals, to conscience. She rotated chairs, capped her perks, published audits, and blessed 3 emerging principles by name before she died. The school doubled after her burial because the account was lodged in systems, not her smile. Another man, called him Jonas, grew a brand around himself. No bench, no bylaws, no breaks. He left suddenly. Phones rang, donors paused, staff scattered. The house fell because it was built on sand called charisma. David served the purpose of God in his generation and fell asleep. Serve purpose, not personality. Protect the account. Write this warning in red. The higher the level, the faster the fall. Visibility multiplies velocity. Appetites, fame, power, tighten the leash. Starve the ego, submit the sword. More eyes are on you. More silence greets you. More temptation flatters you. Be sober, be vigilant. If you cannot be stopped, you are disqualified. Seat belts tighter, audits deeper, friends who wound you closer. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth. Read this one for me, go. The summit requires stricter governance than the climb. Now the commission. Codify the culture, write the non-negotiables, sign them publicly, live them privately. Choose successors who fear God and love truth more than you. Teach them to observe the ways, not just the ways results. Put your name in the ground, not on the signed bylaws that can fire you. Wills that protect the poor, policies that outlive applause. Refuse to steal credit, bless loudly, disappear gladly. Make yourself unnecessary. That is legacy. Protect the account. But what if your account is overdrawn? What if you drop the vault and the noise is everywhere? Hear me. Forgiveness is not restoration. You may be forgiven today and still be unqualified tomorrow. Do not justify. Shut your mouth. Run for cover. You cannot bring yourself back. Authority must bring you back. In a moment, I will give you the restoration protocol, how to rebuild the ladder without faking it. Protect the account. When the account is overdrawn, you need clarity, not cosmetics. Write this down. Forgiveness removes the offense. Restoration rebuilds credibility. One is a gift, the other is a grind. One is instant, the other is timed and tested. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us. That is forgiveness. But the public does not transact on forgiveness. They trade in trust. Test over time equals trust. You can be forgiven today and still be unqualified tomorrow. Read this one for me, go. Forgiveness is not the restoration of trust. Protect the account. Crisis instructions. Do not improvise. Obey. Run for cover. Step down. Shut your mouth. Stop explaining. Explanations are withdrawals. Every sentence you spend to defend yourself is another debit from a bankrupt ledger. Every interview, every thread, every let me tell my side announces that you still think image can purchase credibility. You are disqualified from leading while the account is negative. Sit down. Let another man praise you and not your own mouth. If you must speak, say this. I'm wrong. I am submitting to authority. I will be silent. Then be silent. Why does public defense delay restoration? Because it exposes that you still do not understand law, values, morals, conscience. Law names the value. Values produce morals. Morals train the conscience. When you are negotiating morality in public, you are rewriting law to excuse appetite. Your conscience is still for sale. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will obtain mercy. Mercy is not a microphone. Mercy is a gate to a supervised process. When you argue, you reveal you are trying to manage optics instead of submitting to governance. Stop using the term trust me. Show me your yoke. Protect the account. Write this down. The greatest failure is not the fall, it is failing to deal with the failure effectively. You can fall up if you submit to the process. David fell, then said, against you only have I sinned. And he wrote governance into his grief. Psalm 51 is policy, not poetry. He accepted consequence, stayed in his seat until God released him, and never again played with the boundary. Peter denied, then wept bitterly, then waited until Jesus restored him under public witness. When you are restored, strengthen your brothers. He did not launch a podcast explaining the courtyard. He waited for authority. A righteous man falls 7 times and rises again, not because he talks fast, but because he submits deep. Immediate triage, hear me. Stop the bleeding, secure the scene. Call a true and reliable authority you did not hire and cannot fire. Submit completely without condition. Hand over your schedule, your phone, your accounts. Sign releases. Embrace visible restraints. Seatbelts you cannot unbuckle. Make restitution where you stole. Notify those affected privately before the public hears rumors. Allow authority to speak for you. Do not speak for yourself. Total silence until told to talk. Total submission to timing not set by your brand. You cannot bring yourself back. Authority must bring you back. Protect the account. In the next session, I will give you the restoration protocol, a step-by-step path to rebuild the levels without faking it. We will start at compliance, prove reliability, demonstrate integrity, then pass through accountability under supervision, visible constraints, consistent deposits, audited progress. It will take longer than you want, and it will save more than you know. There is life after the fall, but only under law, through values, into morals, governed by a clean conscience. Until then, sit down, be quiet, and let the process begin. Protect the account. Write this down. Trust is rebuilt only under authority, over time, through visible constraints and consistent deposits. Read this one for me. Go. Test over time equals trust, not tears and not tweets. If you want to come back without faking it, take the yoke and stay under it. Protect the account. Step 1. Identify a true and reliable authority who fears God, or in organizational terms, has unimpeachable ethics and can correct you. Choose one you did not hire and cannot fire. The first criterion is fear of God. The second is clean hands. The third is courage to say no. Not a fan, not a client, not your cousin, not your publicist. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Safety means someone can stop you without needing your paycheck. Test them. Do they gain nothing by your return? Can they remove you if necessary? Will they tell you the truth at the cost of your friendship? If not, keep looking. Protect the account. Step 2, completely submit without condition, no timeline demands, no image management, no bargaining. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Due time is not your time. Hand over access calendars, devices, finances, sign releases, open the books, suspend platforms, silence your mouth. Let another man praise you and not your own. If you are still negotiating optics, you are not repenting, you are campaigning. Stop using the term trust me. You are disqualified until released by authority. Sit down. Step 3, allow authority to represent you to the community. You stop campaigning. Credibility is lent to you through governance. They decide if, when, and how any statement is made. They speak, you agree. If they call for a public apology, you do it. If they say remain silent, you zip it. By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be established. Your name borrows their credit until yours has deposits again. You cannot bring yourself back. Authority must bring you back. Protect the account. Step 4, accept restrictions as protection. Limited access, monitored environments, financial controls, communication boundaries, constraints, rebuild trust, seatbelts you cannot unbuckle. 2 signature spending. No private meetings where you previously failed. Travel with a chaperone. Filters on devices. Counseling required and documented. Restitution where harm was done. Boundaries around gifts and DMs closed. Law creates values. Values produce morals. Morals retrain the conscience. The chain must be rebuilt in public and private. Step 5, re-earn deposits through tests over time. Bring forth fruit worthy of repentance. Start at compliance. Show up early. Finish small tasks exactly. Move to reliability. Meet deadlines without excuse. Keep budgets honest. Demonstrate integrity. The private checks align with the public reports. Then pass through accountability. Audits surprise you and you pass with joy. Your return is not announced by your mouth, but confirmed by consistent fruit. Wisdom is justified by her children. Authority will escalate access in measured increments, weeks to months to seasons, based on evidence, not emotion. Break any step and you restart the clock. If the restraints irritate you, you are not ready. Pray like David. Create in me a clean heart, then I will teach transgressors your ways. You can come back, but only under law, through values, into morals, governed by a clean conscience. Protect the account. Write this down. Your next 30 days are an audit of your account. 4 domains every day, no excuses. Word, money, sex, appetites, power. Word promises. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Build a promise ledger today. Every commitment you've made, calls, emails, deadlines, I'll get back to you, log it. Convert every promise into a calendar event with a due date and a reminder. In 48 hours, either deliver or renegotiate in writing. Money stewardship. He who is faithful in little is faithful also in much. Track every expense, keep receipts, and submit a weekly report to someone you cannot control. 2 signatures above a set limit. Open the budget to your spouse, board, or supervisor. Sex, appetites, private discipline. Flee sexual immorality. Install filters. Close DMs. No private meetings with previous vulnerabilities. Travel with a chaperone. Set a curfew. And fast 1 day a week to remind your body it is not your boss. Power how you treat the weak. Learn to do good. Seek justice. Defend the oppressed. Schedule a weekly listening session with the lowest seat in your world. Make 3 decisions this month that benefit those with no voice. And write the proof. Now the levels. Level 2, reliability. Promise tracking. Score yourself daily. On time starts. On time finishes. No excuse credits. If your calendar lies, you are not reliable. Level 3, integrity. Truth practices. Establish a no spin rule. When you miss, confess it the day you miss to the person affected. Align private, spend with public report. Invite a spot check of the raw statements. Speak the truth in love. Level 4, formal accountability. Sign a governance covenant with real authority. Publish who can stop you and schedule surprise audits you welcome. Read this one for me, go. People trust you when you are governable. Level 5, confidentiality rules. Never repeat a name without permission. Anonymize stories. Lock private notes. Ban screenshots. Carry an NDA of honor in your conscience. He who is faithful conceals a matter. Level 6, succession mentoring. Name your bench. Schedule weekly mentoring. Document systems and transfer credit in public. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Feedback requirement. Ask 5 people. 1 over you, 1 beside you, 1 under you, 1 you serve, client or member, and 1 who loves you at home, what level they believe you operate at and why. Give them 30 minutes each. Do not defend yourself. Shut your mouth. Take notes. Thank them. Document themes and submit them to your authority with an action plan. Institute protection systems. Calendars that honor commitments, buffer, Sabbath, and margin. Transparent reporting, weekly dashboards to authority, and a monthly summary the team can see. Boundary agreements, written rules on gifts, meetings, travel, and digital life. A standing correction channel, an email, a number, an open door time where truth tellers can wound you safely. No retaliation ever. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Stop using the term trust me. Protect the account. Read this one for me, go. Your number 1 goal is to protect the account. If you protect trust, you protect leadership. Test over time equals trust. Do this audit and you will climb intentionally and you can rise higher than your last failure. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. Protect the account.